Hi guys, here's the Unit 3 test. Listen carefully to all the directions. First direction is you are only doing the odds on this test. Alright, so just do the odds. When you put your answers in Edulastic, any even numbered one that I tell you not to do, just put my name, type my name in, Mr. Brooks, in the answer document. Okay, so let's zoom in here on number 1. We're using this picture over here to the left-hand side. It says name a plane, so that's a surface, parallel with CIJ. So CIJ, that's this panel right here, this side panel. So name me another plane that is parallel with that one. Make sure you use 3 points just like they did right here. Number 3. It says, which segment is not skew with EK? Now, EK is right here. All right, so who's not skew? Now, remember, skew lines, they're not parallel, but they also would never touch. So would it be FA? Is this one not skew? Is it LG, this little guy back here in the corner? Would it be CI, who is not skew, or is it AB? All right. Okay, 5, 7, and 9. We're going to look at this picture right yonder. It says name the relationship. So like here's your choices: corresponding angles, alternate interior, alternate exterior, consecutive interior, or same side interior, or is there no relationship at all? Okay, so number 5 is angle 3 and angle 5. These two guys right here, they're on the same side, on the inside. Which one of these could it be? Number 7, angle 1, and angle 10. Here's 1, here's 10. And in number 9, it says, name the transversal that connects 6 and 13. So here's 6 and here's 13. Who's the transversal that makes these two angles? What's the one line that they have in common? So then you would write line P, or line Q, or line S, or line R. Okay, gang. So now we're moving on to question 11, which is on the next page right here. Okay, so number 11, we want the value of x. Okay, so these two are corresponding angles, which means they're equal to each other. So set up your equation so that they're equal to one another. And solve for x. 13, we're going to solve for x and y. So you got to do 2 problems in order to achieve this goal here. All right, x and y are alternate, these two x expressions are alternate interior angles, which means they're equal to each other. So first start by setting them equal to one another. And you're going to solve for x. Once you have solved for x, I want you to plug it in right here. Whoops, I'm sorry, not there. Not there. Don't plug it in there. Right here into this expression, the 12x minus 28. Plug it in there, okay, and get this number, how many degrees this angle will be. Then, notice these two are side by side. That's called a linear pair, which means they equal 180 degrees. So you're going to take the 9y, that's supposed to be a y, minus 77 plus whatever you got for the other angle and set them equal to 180 and solve for y. Okay, number 15. All right, let's zoom out here just a second. Let's check our directions. So for 15, we need to find x. All right, so we're going to do like we've been doing on the last two problems to prove that the two lines are parallel. State the converse used. So the converse basically meaning, if I'm going to scroll back up just a bit, you're going to use one of these. Basically, what kind of angles are these? Are they corresponding? Are they alternate interior, alternate exterior, or are they consecutive interior angles? It is one of these four. So you just write whichever one of these are and then put converse at the end. Okay, now these two guys, I'm not going to tell you what kind of angles they are because that would give away the converse part. But these two, you add them together and set them equal to 180 and solve for x. Okay, moving on to number 17, 19, 21, and 23 on page 3. We have to first, in these two problems, determine if they're parallel, perpendicular, or neither, or as they would say in England, neither. So, in order to do that, let's zoom in here. I'm going to show you how to do this on number 18. Okay, basically we got two problems here. They got QR and ST. So here's the points for Q and R, and there's S and T. So I'm going to make two separate problems. You need to find the slope of each one. So we're going to take y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Label your points. It helps. Okay, do the same over here. Now, I'm just going to find the slope of each one. I'm going to plug in my values. So for y2, it's 2 minus y1, which is 7, over x2, which is negative 7, minus x1, which is negative 8. So 2 minus 7 is going to give me a negative 5. Keep change down here. I'm going to get a positive 1, so my slope is negative 5, or negative 5 over 1. I'd maybe, you know what, let's just leave that as a fraction right there. You'll see why here in a minute. Now on this one over here, y2 is negative 2 minus 13 over negative 11 minus a negative 8. So keep change, that's going to give me a negative 15 over keep change, a negative 3. So I'm going to get a positive 5, or let's make it 5 over 1. So now ask yourself, if they're parallel, the slope would be the same. If they're perpendicular, it's going to be the opposite, meaning they're flipped from each other in different signs. Or is it neither? And in this one, it would be neither or neither. Okay? So that is how we want to do 17 and 19. Do them exactly like I did number 18. Copy number 18 down if you want, and so you got it to look at, or just back it up and watch that part of the video again. Okay, moving on to number 21. Okay, number 21. Which line is parallel to the given line below? So here's this line, y equals negative 5 over 2x minus 7. Here's the slope. Parallel lines have the same slope. So which one of these would have the same slope? Now we're going to have to get y by itself in each one. You need to solve each one of these for y. I'm going to do letter A for you, and then you do B, C, and D, and see who's got the same slope as this guy. So if I have 2x plus 5y equals negative 5. So what I would do first is I'd subtract 2x over there. So now I have 5y equals negative 2x. Always write the x term first. Minus 5. Then divide by 5. And so y is going to be a negative 2/5 x minus 1. So if you look, this slope is negative 2 over 5. This is negative 5 over 2. So it's not letter A. You need to do what I did just right here to these three until you find one that has the same slope. You put A, B, C, or D right here. Okay, so remember, I subtracted the x term over first, and then I divided the number away from the y. That's for number 21. 23, same concept. The only difference is we're talking about perpendicular. Perpendicular, those slopes are flipped and the opposite sign. So this is a negative 2 over 1, so we're looking for a slope. We flip it and make it positive. We're looking for a slope of 1/2. So which one of these is going to have a slope of 1/2? And again, I'll do A for you. So I have x plus 2y equals 8. I'm going to subtract x. That leaves me with 2y minus 1x plus 8 divided by 2. So y equals a negative 1/2 x plus 4, because 8 over 2 equals 4. So as you can see, I need the slope to be 1/2. This is a negative 1/2, so that's not going to work here. So again, solve the rest of those for y, just like I did here. Use another separate sheet of paper. I would for 21 too. Okay, and figure out which one is perpendicular to that line. Okay, last page of the test, 25, 27, 29, last three problems. Okay, zoom in here on 25. Line M passes through the point 2, -7, and the point 4, -9. It's parallel to which line? So what we need to do is find a slope. All right. To find a slope, you need to go y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Once you have a slope, choose either this line or this line. Those are your x's and your y's. Plug it into y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, everybody that's in red is where you're putting new numbers in, and you're going to solve it down into y equals mx plus b form. Okay, so replace this with one of these two, whichever point you choose. It does not matter which one of these you choose. Okay, so if you choose 4, -9, it's going to be y minus -9 or y plus 9. M, that's what you're going to get when you find a slope from those 2 points. That goes here. Then it's x minus, again, if you're using this, it'd be -4. But distribute that first and then add or subtract this number over so that your line is in y equals mx plus b form. And then these are your 4 choices, so your answer should match one of these 4. If it doesn't, you have done something wrong. If you're not sure, ask for help. Number 27 is the exact same thing. They give us a slope of m. Here's the x and the y. So we are going to use y minus y1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Okay, plug those 3 values in for here and solve it into y equals mx plus b, and that's where your answer goes there, and you'll type that into Edge Elastic that way. And 29. So they want us to write the equation of a line that's parallel to this line, but this line's not in slope-intercept form, so let's get him into slope-intercept form. So that would be -2y equals -3x plus 14. We divide by -2. And y equals 3 over 2x minus 7. So his slope is 3 over 2. So use that slope and that x and y and plug it into y minus y1. This is the point slope form. Okay. Plug in this for the m, this for your x's and y's, and put it down, solve it into y equals mx plus b. If you have questions throughout the test, don't hesitate to ask. All right. Use another sheet of paper. We can staple to it at the end. Remember, on Edge Elastic, all the evens that we did not do, you'll type my name in the box on Edge Elastic. Have a great rest of the day, and God bless you.